Welcome into episode 72 of Coffee and Show. I am Sleeves, joined by my co-host Padre, and I am now a fellow father. I'm Daddy Sleeves, and I am tired. This is late, and I am battling through the being a dad while trying to talk about the NHL video game.
You'll get used to just being tired. It's
It's
honestly
it.
that's
Like you just live in it.
and luckily, I mean, not to like, at least you get to stay at your house, like
That's true. I mean, that's
because
true.
I have to get up and like drive to work. So like my wife will get on to me like, you need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. Like at least you have to like go drive the car like every morning or anything. So it's like that's half the battle.
Yes, that's
By the way, we
true.
both have on our team hats. Look at that. I just realized that.
Oh, look at that, dude.
We
Both
didn't
of
plan that. We didn't plan
both
that either.
both disappointments currently. My Red Sox just got.
Mine might be the biggest I've ever seen in my lifetime. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
crazy to
it
say
might
that.
be. That's got to
It is
be.
actually
The
100%.
Yankees, the Yankees and Cardinals being last in their division has got to be one of the. That's gonna be one of the
And
first
then you
times
got the
ever.
Padres and the Mets who spent a ton of money, and like they're a
MLB is,
disaster.
and then the Braves might be legitimately the best team ever assembled.
And now the Rays with Wander, it's like that's a mess. Like I
Oh,
was
that's a
excited to
whole
see.
thing.
That's a
Good
whole
lord.
can of worms.
Well, we got a lot
Man.
to talk about in today's episode. Since it's been about a month since we talked about last episode. Last episode we went over the GWC being done, and now we've got the new game. NHL 24's reveal trailer happened. I went to Vancouver 5 days after or 7 days after my kid was born. I managed to sneak that in. He helped me out, and he came early. Yeah. So let's. What do you want to start with? What do you want to
Let's
start
talk
with?
about Vancouver because I'm curious about just everything that like goes on there. So like give all the viewers because I'm sure everyone you've had a million questions in your chat all week
Yeah.
asking you like all the I don't know, people get so overreactive about this stuff. It's a movie, guys. When we see these trailers, like they're gonna make it look amazing, whether it's good or bad. Like who
Oh,
cares? Like
the NH the
yeah,
reveal
like the
trailer,
games. It's like people
dude.
get
This I'll be real. The reveal trailer. Oh, let's start with Vancouver first. So for anyone who doesn't
yeah.
know, on last week, maybe about 10 days ago, they had EA had about 40 of us out there. It was I've been a game changer for 5 years now. This will be my sixth game, I think. 24 will be like my sixth game. No, maybe fifth game. And I'd only been out there once. So like my first time was for NHL 19, and back then, no, it was NHL 20. I think. I don't know. Actually, it was a Subban one. What's that? That's 19. Yeah, it was 19.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, and so back then, before COVID, you would go out there as a game changer, and this was probably the best or like the I don't want to say the reason you become a game changer, but it's like it's the biggest perk you by far is you get to go out there, you get to see the new game, and then you basically the old events there'd be 10 of you, and you'd go and basically for 3 straight days or 2 straight days you'd sit in a room and you would basically just grind, and it was great because you could find out a lot more bugs and things like that because you're playing like 7 hours of the game, and you get to talk to all the developers one on one. And then COVID happened, and obviously that's not going to be a thing anymore. So over the last few years, they would just send us alphas. So we've had the alpha for like not very long, actually. I think last year we got it in like May or June. So I was a little worried because it was like July, and we finally got it. We played it a little bit, but the problem is that like when you don't have like dedicated times to play, people work and stuff. Like it's hard to get like even 10 people together to play World of Shell or even ones. So this was the first time since the last time I went. That was like the last event, really. And so over the last few years, I haven't really gotten anything, to go out there or anything like that. So this was pretty crazy. I don't know what EA's mission is this year, but it seems to be to do everything opposite that they've done the last few years. Because in prior years, they would probably spend all their budget on like a 30-second commercial with a cover athlete or something and, go out on TV. And this year, they just brought every influencer, not just Game Changer. I think there was 15 of us that were like actual video game people. There was like 20 like lifestyle. So like Coach Jeremy, Coach Chippy. There's a lot of coaches. Overtime Megan was like legitimately the most famous person there, probably. So it was pretty crazy, but it was nice to meet a couple people that Don't Be Sod. I met Don't Be Sod for the first time.
Oh, that was
Um,
the first time you met him.
that was yeah, because like he's from Illinois and we are from Chicago, and I just yeah we never went to
So who
events
was it?
together.
It was Sod, Tactic, Nasher,
Thrash was there. I've met
Thrash,
Thrash and Tactics many times though. Well, Thrash I've only met once, but Tactics I met many times.
and
Uh,
then
Owe,
Eki,
Eki. Yeah, so
Dino, Krista.
Donald Krista got to go. Car Pig, who I've now met a couple times because he was at the draft too. Clapback Nick. It was cool seeing like Clapback Nick. I didn't know who he was. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I try not to watch YouTube. It's like going back to work. But he's
Yeah,
this young kid who just does like highlight reel stuff, like crazy skill stick stuff, and it's gonna get real interesting come the new game because now that is a little bit less, a
right.
little bit more, a little more easier to do. That's for a whole later in the video, but um, he was it was nice to meet him, and he's kind of like blowing up on TikTok. It's cool in my old age and in like the later stage of my career now. Not later stage, but I've been doing this now for like 6 years. And 6 years ago there was no TikTok. So like the ability for younger people to take advantage of TikTok is still there, and you're clearly seeing because like Carpig has like 50K on TikTok. Like
I had no
I
clue. Yeah.
just crossed 50K on YouTube
Wow.
6 years in. So like now
It's
obviously
because
50.
there's so much friction to get to a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
got to
like,
search. You got to search. In
or
TikTok,
it's like
it's just
TikTok is
throwing
like,
you.
dude.
Yeah.
My dad does it, and
Yeah,
he doesn't
man.
even like. He just likes to like look at like random
Mm-hmm.
videos. Like he doesn't even like. It's so easy. You're just like, oh, hit the follow button, bang. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just
100%. Yeah, like so it was cool to meet them. And at EA. Um, so the first day we get there, it was like the influencer day. So that was it was like a day of activities. So the first day we got there, we got split up into three different groups. We got to tour EA. I've already seen EA, but the EA campus is sick. But they're building a new one right across the street, and it's
wow.
massive. I think it's for FIFA. I didn't realize that FIFA was in Vancouver. I had no.
Yeah.
I thought it was like mobile and NHL and a little bit of UFC. I did not think that FIFA was there because FIFA is their biggest game, right? So I just didn't think of it. It's a beautiful campus. Vancouver is an amazing city. I've only been out there once for that, and it's in Burnaby, and it's in the middle of this like forest kind of thing. Like it's got a crazy huge soccer field. They have like 3,000 employees there. They have this crazy soccer field, insane gym. It was really nice. It's like 3 stories high. So we got to go tour again. We split up into groups, and we got to go. The first thing was to go to motion capture. So they have a motion capture facility right across the street, and we got to see them do motion capture stuff. So Rasmus Dahlin was there and Adam Fantilli, and we got to see them just like mess around. It's crazy watching guys try to skate on synthetic ice. Like
Yeah, it's weird.
it almost made me like nervous. So like because Fantilli was there, and we got close enough where we could hear them. Like they would walk us in and they showed us how they do motion capture, which is crazy by the way. Um, and yeah, like Rasmus Dahlin was like doing some stuff, and then they had Fantilli go, and he was like, I don't know how to skate on this. And you could see him like take off, and it looked really awkward doing it. And then like once he gets going, I guess it like kills your blades, like it dulls them immediately,
Yeah.
and like you can't really turn, and you can't stop, like you
Did you
can't.
get to see him shoot a puck in person?
Yeah, he was ripping them on the net, like. But then so they were
Isn't
doing
it
that.
crazy to watch a guy in the
It's
pros shoot a puck
nuts.
in person up close? It's
Effortless.
completely different than what even when you're behind the glass. Like there's just it's the way they snap their wrist. It's
It's
unbelievable.
effortless. It's so crazy, man. And so yeah, we got to see that. And then so like they had Nasher, Zach Bell, who's always hockey on TikTok, and
Yeah.
Pavel Barber were in motion capture doing some crazy stuff. So they were recording stuff. So that was cool to see. Found out that early on they had to record like this. I think that everyone can appreciate the fact that hockey is probably the hardest game to motion capture for, just because there's so much involved in it. Like you're not just running, right? Like in football, basketball, or so, and you got your stick and everything else, right? So they told us that early days, the motion capture lead there, he was in charge of like day to day operations of the motion capture facility, and he was like in the early days, I think it was NHL. I would love to go back and look. So for anyone that's listening that has the ability to, I think he said NHL '06 when he first got there, they didn't have synthetic ice. They had to motion capture with rollerblades on cement. And
Wow.
then they got synthetic ice, I think in '07 or '08. And I would love to see what the gameplay looks like because they didn't motion capture on ice. Because I guess what happens is they have like 60 or 600 cameras, and all those little dots that are on your motion capture thing are just reflecting light, and then they
Yeah.
record the light reflection. So when you think about like an ice rink, it's just light. Like so to record on an actual ice rink is super difficult. I'm sure it's easier now, but it's very difficult because when you get all the cameras in there, imagine how big a stadium is. So to get enough cameras to fill that would be almost impossible. And then the bright it just reflects off everywhere, so it's very hard to capture. So
That's probably why the goalies are so weird because they
yeah,
can't slide. They can't slide correctly.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
I've never been on synthetic ice as a goalie. I've only ever skated on it like
I can
as
only
like.
imagine it'd be like jagged, like just
There's a
stepping.
lot of so the goalie guild guy. You've seen him on
Yep,
Instagram. He's got a
yeah,
big
yeah.
following. He trains out of Colorado, and they have synthetic ice for like the shooters, but then the crease is real ice.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's they have like a cool setup like where he trains out there, and that's the only way I think I guess you could do it probably if you want to have like legit goalie animations for sliding and
Yeah, I would think so.
RVH
Yeah.
and VH on the post. By the way, real quick with the game changers, that's the only. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I've never heard of Madden or FIFA. Maybe they do. Do they? They don't fly anybody out from their communities, do they? Like that,
I
like
see.
NHL
I
does.
think I think why NHL is doing at least this year
But no,
is
but ever like I've never heard
no,
any
like
other.
I don't know. I'm sure Madden has. I'm
Well, it's
just
not
not.
as publicized.
I
Like
don't
you know what I
know if
mean?
they need the marketing. You know,
Yeah.
like NHL, dude. NHL is trending today, and the reveal trailer, like not hyping it up and saying that this game is going to be the best. That's going to be a
We don't even know if it's gonna be good or bad. Who
exactly.
cares?
I have no idea if it's going to be good, but it was something is going right this year, this summer compared to last year. It's the number one trending video game video the last 3 days, and like we're just a niche sports game. You know, it's like I thought that was at least a good touch. Anyway, so after the motion capture part of the tour, we got to go to the dev floor. I personally loved it. A lot of the like the lifestyle people, this is probably where they just like tuned out because we got to go up and see the developers working on like new animations.
Is
And
that like all the cubicles with the jerseys
yeah,
on
yeah,
the?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
see, I'd be like nerdy like you with it, and I would love to like. I've always wondered like what goes on in there. You know what I mean? Like what is like what do they do at their desk every day? You know what I mean?
So,
Like
dude,
what?
so like it's eye opening for people that have never been that are like into the game. So like we go in and there's actually a picture and everyone looks mad, but we're all focused on the screen. I was like, I must have asked like 7 questions. I think his name is Matt. I hope it's not. I hope I'm not wrong. I have never met him before. I don't know if he's new. I think he might be newer. Super great in depth guy. So I would ask questions if he didn't know. He like literally went, checked code, and came back. Like it was nuts. Um, he was showing us new goalie animations and just like saves. And so basically they go in their dev kits, they'll take shots and then they'll track. You can see like attributes, like what's happening in the background. Like he's got 97 glove high. And then it's like, what save state is he in? Is he in relaxed? Is he in a rebound state? And I was just like nerding out. I'm like, what happens if he's not in a save state? Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like asking all these questions, and so that was cool. Um, and yeah, so we got shown that, and then the last thing, we had a really good lunch, and then the last thing was the Bauer skills comp thing. There's a bunch of videos of that online. We were in their gym, and they had us do like 3 skills comps. It was just fun, and yeah, like it was really well done. And like the lifestyle people were only there for that day, so they flew in the same day, like the day before. Went to that, and they flew home the next day. All the game changers stayed the extra day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so went to the casino, which we always do. Every time that you go there, you usually end up at the casino. And then Nasher was doing a million things. They had him skating with Darlene, not on the synthetic ice, like they rented out like another thing. Like so, there'll be lots of stuff going
That's
on.
probably where you'll see the commercial with
Probably
Biz. And,
something, yeah, like something. But
where did you guys stay in comparison to that place? I guess was it downtown Vancouver?
No, we stayed in Burnaby, so we stayed at a place called, and I'm pretty sure it's the same all the time because it was actually the hotel I stayed at the first time I went. I think it was the Westin. Very nice. Like I was extremely impressed by like they went all out. Okay, they went all out, and it wasn't for a small group of people; it was for a ton of them. And you could tell that they were changing their philosophy on
So some
marketing.
brownie points for Clappy right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Clap takes a lot of flack. Planning a live event for 40 people, I would like. You could tell he didn't sleep a wink. Like he
Yeah.
was just he. So, anyways, so the next
Good.
day is the game changer day. So we went and we had like a meeting where we got every lead developer, every single developer. So we're talking franchise with Zane or Gurn, sorry. Then it was like
Gurndeep?
yeah, and we got
Gurndeep's the name that you always see on the computers. So all the computers are named after
I
the
don't. Yeah.
developers.
So we had Gurn. We had like Nicholas, like Pritch, like all
Did you
the.
have my boy Alan Quinto there?
I don't know. There was a bunch that like I didn't know, like because they were like probably like like
I'm a
animators
nerd.
and
I'm a
stuff.
nerd, so it's always like I just remember like the old school videos. They used to do. It's kind of good that they're going back to their roots a little bit, where they're doing the videos like with the developers. Like you saw Clappy do the one, and
Yeah,
they
that's a
used to
whole.
do
We haven't
videos.
talked about that. Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah,
To talk
like
about.
that's like they used to do that all the time, like Alan Quinto and Dean Richards and David Littman and like all
Mhm.
those guys that used to be there over the years. And it's I think it's good that they do that because like I mean they could do that. I think people like seeing like effort like that. Even
So like I said
yeah
last year, I've said I was pretty open about this. There was pretty much radio silence. Mike and now Chris, who you guys now know,
yeah.
they were silent essentially up until about April, even in the Game Changer program. This last year was it was like the program didn't exist to be honest with you, and kind of coincides with NHL 23. And they've been very, very. We've had like scheduled meetings to like, and they've asked for feedback and stuff like that very early, and they're very down to earth. And anyway, so that we get us in the theater room, and there was all these developers, and it was very laid back, and it was like, all right, ask your questions. Now, I'm not gonna say what went on in there because that's a firm NDA and stuff for like 25 and
All right,
26.
fine. Let's do this. Who asked the most questions?
I did.
Okay.
I asked the most questions.
Who asked the second most questions then?
Oh, dude, Sod asked a lot. Brody, for anyone that doesn't know, Brody from LG,
Oh yeah, Brody was there.
he is the um he's just a good talker. And every time I've
Okay.
been at a Game Changer event or a Game Changer meeting, he usually leads it because a, a lot of people don't want to ask. A lot of people,
Yeah.
in person, they're a little maybe more shy, and that's just how it is.
And then wait, was Deke wasn't there, right? No.
Deke wasn't there. Nope, Donald
Was,
Chris
was
still
Henrique
was.
there? No,
Henrique was not
no,
there.
wasn't
He
there.
was. I think it was pretty much all the other Game Changers.
I was trying to figure out who. I couldn't remember like all the.
Saphir
I didn't-
wasn't. Saphir wasn't.
Saphir wasn't
They
there.
were newer though.
Yeah,
They
I
were
just
set.
could. I didn't, there wasn't like a picture of like all you guys, so I didn't know.
Yeah, we only had like the one on the second night, and that was like after
Yeah.
dinner. But there was only a few of us there. So, yeah. So we do the with the meeting and whatnot, and then I had to do stuff, and and so if you want to do, I don't want to. I've just realized I probably shouldn't say it. We got to like all the game changers went into a room, and we like tested the game like it was like a normal thing, only for like, about 4 hours. We got to record, but we can't release until a little later on, so that'll be fun. So you guys will get to see some gameplay the second.
Was
we
there
see-
pizza there? That's the real question that.
Oh, the
viewers
pizza
wanna know.
party memes are that's long and dead. That was
Dang it.
that's what it used to
I
be.
wanted to.
That's what it used to be. It literally used to be they would bring us they would order pizza and we would sit in a room like nerds, like Halo lands, and it'd be 8 hours for 3 days. That's what a game changer meeting used to be, like trip used to be. No, this was like
Clappy did a really good job.
he did. I was impressed with that. And now everyone
Good.
there is like, "Oh, you're shill." Like, yeah, no. Listen, it's not gonna, a nice.
People need to understand the game changer thing. It's
There might be
these-
people. Hey, I'll say this: I don't hate them. It's just
No.
I think what's frustrating about those trips and the public.
it was a
opinion of
here's
them-
real quick. It was a bad name to give that
That's
group.
all. We're not even called Game Changer anymore. I think we're called
Yeah.
Design Council.
And it
But
should
it'll
have been
never
that
not
from
be,
the beginning.
yeah.
And like that's honest, like all you guys there like earned like you do it for a living. Like
Yeah.
you
Like,
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I played the game a long time and I stream it sometimes, but I don't deserve to be there.
I do
Like,
want to. I
know.
do want to touch real quick. If NHL 24 is bad, it won't change my mind. I will literally state that it's awful. But
Yeah.
just like I did all throughout 20. Listen, guys, they invited me there, and I don't know how many more people were more critical than me. And I want to define critical. I think the reason that separates game changers from people that are outwardly angry at the game, it's not like we have different opinions. We just know how to speak to human beings. That is legitimately the difference. Like, if I could show you design council chats and messages over the last couple years, you guys would be blown away at how hard we go in at each other. Like, Ben Ross was the king of it because Ben would get in there. Who I met, he actually came downstairs. He's now in
Oh wow.
FIFA, so it was really nice to see Ben. Man, you don't know what you had until it's gone. You know, I was sad, but meeting Mike and Chris and talking to them in person, like they're just I don't know the right word. They're very down to earth. They get what people like are. They have the same feelings about a lot of the same feelings and frustrations that we have in the game, and they're trying to fundamentally change things. And
They're a breath of fresh air.
I am more optimistic now than I
Yeah.
was 6 months ago. I don't
Right.
know if it'll be good because I still don't know if they have the capacity to really make drastic changes in the NHL franchise. But I am much more optimistic just because I have faith in them. Again, I didn't hear from them. And we said on this podcast a number of times that I was just like, I have no faith in the dev team because 23 comes out. It's an unmitigated disaster. Like, the worst game that we have gotten easily since 15. And to be honest, the only reason 15 was as bad as it was, if you didn't play World of Chell, 15 wasn't even that bad. But World of Chell was just becoming super popular and they got rid of it. That's why 15 is deemed as the worst. 23 is just terrible.
And 15 had a huge graphic jump too.
It
From
did.
old
Yo, that's
consoles
another
to-
thing, man. Like, seeing the trailers, I posted that screenshot. That one went around in my car in game, and everyone's like, "Oh, we see this every year." I gotta say, man, since the jump from PS4 to PS5, because they're just stuck on can't get rid of the last gen. This is all games. This is all gaming companies because all gaming companies still develop for
This
old
is the
gen.
last year, probably, right? You think?
I don't even know. I would say I'm at a 65% confidence that they will still be on PS4 and PS and Xbox next year.
Really? I thought because maybe like MLB is getting rid of it after this year, and like some of the
MLB
other
is MLB is very different. They operate so different than all other sports games, and I think it's because they're owned by Sony.
Is that
Like,
just like a sale? Is that just a sales thing so that they can?
I
Is
don't
that
know if it's a sales thing, but the thing MLB does so well is that they don't like something or something if their game is deemed boring, they'll just go and rewrite the ship. Like this year, they released all 99s at the beginning of the year. No Ultimate Team game would even dream of that because that defeats progression. So it's like, how are you going to get them to spend money? And then they got to find a way to do that. And MLB's going through that right now where like the 99s are in packs, which is not flying over well with the community, but everything else is not like they rework everything every year except for 22, which is weird. 22 is just 21. But they usually don't rest on their stuff. So they go out on a limb and just go all over the place. But it was anyways, I'm much more optimistic with my time. It was tough, man. Like, so I wasn't going to go. I got asked to go to film some things specifically. And I was really excited about it because I mean, selfishly, I have been doing this for 5 years now, and I haven't gotten anything from EA, guys. Like and not that I've earned anything or that I things that have I'm owed anything, you know. But I didn't have any game changer trips. I didn't have anything like that because of COVID. I would hope, and so it was nice going out there, but like, it's my
yeah? You
yeah.
got to jump in the deep end of the pool, right?
Yeah, so my son was due August 13th, and I wasn't gonna go if he wasn't born yet. Obviously, I'm not gonna.
Right.
He is gonna be my only kid, so I wasn't gonna miss that. So he
Mhm.
comes early, like real early, like 8 days, 7 days early. So now we're not sleeping and we're enjoying. He's been really good. My wife has been incredible, but
Yeah, you watch them change into a different person. It's crazy.
exact. Yeah, it's wild. And then yeah, she was like, I was like, okay, I gotta go. It's a work thing. If it was just like if I had to just do like a game changer thing, like where you're
Yeah.
testing the game and stuff, and even just the live thing, I probably wouldn't have gone. But like again, certain opportunities, it's important. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep doing this. So, yeah, I got to go down there, and it was nice, but I just want to get home. I added it up. I'm blessed to do what I do. I still don't understand how I'm able to, and everyone that listens, I will never be able to repay you guys, but I get to go all over the place because of this, and I have been away 10 weeks, and it's not even October yet. That's over 2.5 months that I'm talking nights away from home. Like,
When do you go to Washington again?
I think September is when I got to go for a little bit, and then October potentially I'm there for like weeks for the launch of the
Really?
game. Yeah, so like. Again, everyone's like, dude, you get to go to the All-Star game and you're floating around and all this, and I'm just like, first of all, dude, you saw it in Nashville, bro. The day that I gotta, like, I'm still stressed. Like, I gotta go do an event, and I'm like, it's live. It's not recorded. You only have one take at it. I'm scared. Gary Bettman's watching. Like it's not all fun and games. I usually get about a day when on these trips that I get to go and do stuff. But by that time, I'm just like I'm in bed by 6 p.m. I can't tell you how many times if I'm by myself, I'm alone. Like even in DC, second I'm done work, streaming or whatever event that's going on in District E, I'm in bed in my hotel by like 7:30. Like, and not to mention, like I just eat like garbage on it. My health is taking such a nasty decline. I haven't mastered that yet. I haven't mastered eating and exercising and stuff on vacation. I just end up eating like garbage. So I've been home for a little while now, and I'm back at the gym. I'm trying to get in some habits. Trying to wake up at 7 a.m., 6:30, so that I can see my kid a little bit. And but anyway, so good trip. I hope they do it again. I hope they bring out more. The one thing I think that this might do is inspire some people to be creators. I'll be honest with you, people. Like there was people there that had small followings, giant followings, like that just are hockey creators. Like if I think the event went well, I don't know if it went well for EA, but it ended up trending on Twitter. Like NHL 24 was trending on Twitter, so it didn't hurt. So maybe that's what they do. If you're thinking about being a creator, now is the time. The pool is very, very shallow. You know, there's not a lot of creators anymore, and that has a lot to do with the game being awful.
YouTube too.
Yeah, do YouTube. I'll be honest with you. I would go all in on TikTok for a little while, and if you think that you've got it and you get a little on there, then learn long form. But yeah, anyway, so I hope you see more, and it was really good for a lot of creators to see that, to get to go and experience that. But so let's talk about reveal trailer. What'd you think?
I liked everything, honestly. I'm me.
Really?
I'm like
We haven't really
blunt.
talked. We usually hate it.
Yeah,
Like, you're like a jaded.
I don't know. I'm just blunt, I guess. I don't know. I probably come off like the worst person in the world, but I'm excited every year about the game, even if it's a bad game.
I think that, yeah, we're hockey fans. There's nothing you can do.
I'm
about
just
it.
a hockey fan, and I've told you this 1,000 times. No matter how much I bit, I mean, my wife knows. I'm just like I'm negative, but I'm pessimistic or a realist, whatever word you want to use. I just hate being like fluffy and just fake about things. I just like being honest. And if it comes off bad, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm gonna buy the game no matter what. It can be the worst game in the world. Again, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it, whatever it comes out, October, whatever, to the end of
early access 6 worldwide.
Yep. So I'll play it until I get knocked out, or I want to be able to play it after I get knocked out of GMBC. I say like obviously I can play it still. I know I can. It's just like
no, you
give
can't.
Give me
I can't.
something.
Like, dude.
But it's just like give me something else besides champs to keep me going a little bit. Like why do I play MLB and feel like the need to want to play MLB and enjoy it still? I mean maybe like ever since I made World Series I'm not as like whatever, but that's just how I'm like wired. But like give me something where like it makes me keep playing. Like why did I keep playing Warzone all the time when I'm not going to be the best in the world at Warzone? But it's like something drew me in. It was like fun again. Like I don't know. They got to do something to where it's not just all right, get on, play my 20 games, and get silver rivals, and watch. It's so bland last few years, but I'm gonna play it, and yeah, I enjoyed the trailer. I liked everything. The only thing you saw me kind of joke about, just because me being a goalie, the goalie animations are a little scary looking, but I know they're gonna. I would hope. It sounds like I can't remember what the guy's name was. Is it Chris?
Chris.
He's a goalie, I guess, according to his
Yep.
Twitter bio.
Yep.
So I think with him being a goalie, I might shoot him some stuff and just be like, hey, I mean, I'm not, I wouldn't play in the NHL or anything, but it's like, I'm a goalie too. Like, I feel like if I see anything crazy, maybe I'll send it to him. Because I mean, I feel like somebody's got to say something because if like you have these goalies falling down, sitting on their butt. I mean, you saw the whole thing, and the goalie's sitting there going like this with his hands on his butt, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
yeah,
philosophy, So first of all, let's address this. NHL 23 didn't have any live service updates to gameplay, which was awful. It's terrible and really not acceptable in the year of 2023 in video games. Like back in the day, you release a game and what you have is what you got, right? There's no updates and things like that. But it's not really acceptable now, especially you pay full price for it. But their philosophy was we need to just focus on the next game. And I said this as well. This is the biggest change we've had in gameplay in since the skill stick, I think. Like year
yeah.
over year, like they just completely overhauled like almost all aspects of the game. And that doesn't mean it's gonna be good. Because it could be worse. Like it could legitimately is in the realm possibility, it could be worse. Um and we won't know until everyone gets the game, and then it's about a month in. Because if you think back to 23, we didn't even know the rap didn't become popular until like a month in. Remember, it was early on. You just couldn't score one timers, and it was like, how do you score?
Right.
Like, and then the rap comes out, and then it's just like, man, like we're in the information era. Like just everyone knows. So we'll find out. So from my playing of the game, when you get the full pressure bar activated, first, I think this will help with people that dominate games and still find ways to lose, like on random shots or off a rush, 2 minute, I think that when the full pressure's on and the goalie's tired, he flops around a lot. Like I scored a couple goals where like I just shot for a rebound and like he's just out, and I just threw it in a wide open. I'm not talking like a wide open net. Like he's like legitimately dove out to the right and I'm on the left, and I
So
literally
when you mean like the goal, is he like in his butterfly, or is he like laying on
no,
his
I'm
stomach?
talking like he goes and does like a square right trick, like in ESHL when he does like the. They showed us an example, um, of like the inspiration for it, and you see it. It's hockey is so hard to get right because first of all, you'll never get it right because, as we saw this year, some people like simulation based hockey where hockey's very random. It's very luck. You work around, then eventually take a shot, and sometimes it goes in. Um, Video games, some other like most video game people, they want they think they want simulation based, but they want ones and zeros. They want if I do this and X happens and it doesn't happen, I'm pissed. That's a shit experience, and you're never gonna be able to satisfy everyone because that's not possible. So, um,
I think the name for it might be the biggest issue, calling it goalie fatigue.
yeah, like see,
I
yeah.
almost wish they would call it like down and out or something like that. Because if it's really about just like like I use Jonathan Quick or something, right? Like he's scrambling, he's down low, he's in like the the low crouch, he gets down, all of a sudden puck squirts free, he's down and out, but he reaches back and does one of his miraculous saves. If it's more like that, then yeah, I get it. But if
Like
it
I've seen
yeah.
it work as intended on like let's say one timers. Like if your goalie's passed out or like depleted and you got full pressure activated, first of all, the defense has a real hard time getting the puck back because they're slow. Like they're out of gas, and your
So
guys like
basically, it's when you rag the puck in your own zone, your guy's basically like that
not
kind of.
that bad because I think your speed goes to 0 or like
Okay.
5, but it's like I would say your skating goes. Let's say you had 99 skating, it probably goes down to 80
So
or
give me
like
so here, let me tee up an
yeah
example so we can
yeah
maybe dumb it down. So you get the pressure bar activated, you have the puck, okay,
yep
and you go, let's say you go D to D at the point,
yep
and then you go cross ice to like where
Ob
Ovechkin would
yeah
be.
yeah
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Is the goalie like down and out already, or is he
No,
like
so this is what I was gonna say. When it works on the Ovechkin one, he'll rob you silly. Like it's not down and out on the problem is, or like where I think it will arise is because on the Ovechkin shot, it's like the game is trying to determine that's the one where we're gonna like that's the danger. The problem is if you pass to Ovechkin and you don't shoot, like he goes desperation save. So you could just flick up if he's like, like the cage is open. So again, My fear is that it's not random and it's like something can be like if you make a couple of passes D to D, then the goalie's down and out and every time. That's my fear. Is the goalie's down and out every time in a certain specific situation. Um, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
And the reverse hit scared me too. That was another
The
thing.
reverse hit's the scariest thing to me, because I didn't even realize it. Alpha testing, I didn't realize it. When I was there, someone was like, "God, this." He's like, "This reverse hitting is wild." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And um, if you use the total control controller set, it's far different. You can still use the skill stick control set, and the buttons on the skill stick are still mapped. Like so, it's all you got to do when you're using the skill stick is hit. This is why I think comp players are going to use skill stick still. You hit A, and you'll reverse hit. It's like a fighting game. If someone's running at you and you hit A at the right time, right when they're about to hit you, you will crush them, and then you just skate freely. And they're down and out. It's not like, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, let me try this. I think I was playing Sod. He was running at me. I just tapped A, and it was like I just threw him away with my car, and I was like, oh, like I don't know about this one, like because then I just skate for a breakaway. So you could.
Why do you think they're gonna keep the skill stick, the comp players? Because like right now, if you think about it, right, like if you're using skill stick, let's just say Y button or triangle button, right, as the skill stick is the challenge for a fight. That's all it does,
Yep.
right? In board play, I think, right?
Yeah.
So on the skill stick though now, or on the new control, whatever it's called, that's going to be the Michigan, right?
Yep. So the reason why I think it'll be that comp players will use a skill stick is one, while the buttons on the total control are mapped, so like A is the one tuck or is the tuck, circle is between the legs, all of that, right?
Okay.
But it's not. They call it total control, but you're obviously not in total control because in the skill stick you can determine how you do the toe drag, how you do and when you do it. Like there's more freedom to deking. Even though you're able to still do it with one button, there's more freedom to doing it and triggering different things with the skill
So
stick.
if you use those buttons, you can't do that with your skill stick anymore at all?
That's a good question.
Like, I wonder if you could still use the buttons and you can still toe drag with the skill stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could be right.
If it is, I mean, for a comp player, like, if I know that I can do it Michigan, just hit a button.
The hip check one, I think, is the most impactful of the total control, by the way. So,
really?
how many times do you hip check?
I mean, it's never really worked correctly.
Exactly. Because you have to. It's awkward to hold down because you have to you hit click in the right thumbstick. I would say probably 80% of the player base doesn't even know how to do it.
If you can do all this still with this stick, and then you can hit certain buttons to have like instant. I used to make jokes about Mivians. Mivians was a guy in hybrid.
He's hybrid.
Hybrid's gone now.
Yep.
But everyone was always like, how does Mivians hit these slap shots every single time? Well, he would just hit a button.
Yeah.
And when you hit a button, the input is perfect every time, in my opinion.
I found on like the Michigan, for example, by the way, because a lot of people are worried about that. It takes about a second and a half. Like me and Sod were playing, I think, and we didn't say anything going into the game. We're like, "Yo, you want to play?" And we were messing around, and the entire game was we would try and go down the boards and go behind the net and try Michigan, but we weren't actively saying, "Hey, I'm gonna try that." It was just I have a feeling during the beta that's everyone's game the entire game, because how many people actually pulled off to Michigan? 10? Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially in a rivals game or a champs game, right? So, like, everyone is going to. The good part is that the Michigan. Well, so first of all, EA backed themselves into a corner years ago when they introduced the Michigan because it's a move that 5 people could do in the real NHL, right? But when you give it to a video game and it's your big feature and only 10 people can do it in the entire game, it's pointless, right? Like the Zegras flip pass last year, I don't even know if I saw one. So now you give access so people can actually use it. So anyways, we would get down behind the net and you could tell what we were going for, and it's so easy to defend. Like, you got to be skill zoning, which you can't do. The skill zone's gone. I'm sure there'll be a new way to do it. The skill zone is gone. If you skill zone and you sit in, I can't wait to see what Hut heroes get absolutely exposed the first month in Hut Champs, because we haven't even talked about L2. But if you skill zone, for anyone that doesn't know what skill zoning is, it's basically, it got introduced in NHL 18. Skill zoning now is not even close to what it was, but Essentially, you just take your centerman or forward and you sit in the middle and you don't move. And basically, what that does is it crowds the front of the net, so no one can get across ice one time or anything like that. And then you're basically just forcing everything to the outside, and you're waiting, for them to turn the puck over. You're not defending behind the net, anything like that. In this, dude, if you do that, you can Michigan easily if you're not actively playing defense. And then when the full pressure bar fills, like, dude, I equate it to when you watch a penalty kill and the team that's killing the penalty full 2 minutes on the ice. Like, they're barely moving. They're just trying to get in passing lanes so that and getting out of the way so that goalies can make the save to stop the puck. That's what I equate it to. Like, it's really hard if you're playing someone who's ripping around to get the puck back. And I think that it'll lead to everyone being very aggressive defensively, because when you get into the zone, when they get into your zone, you're going to see the timers tick. And this is what I found. I was frantic. I was like, I don't want to be caught here. I'm just going to go, and you got to learn how to play defense. Like, in the NHL, you don't just sit in the middle. Like, there's a real way to play defense, right? So you got to learn how to cover people quickly, how to player switch, all that kind of stuff. And it'll be really fun to see people adjust to that. But on top of that, like, you don't want that bar to fill up, and you'll cover the puck. Like, I bet you any money we're going to see a lot more players not throw the puck out, because you need your goalie, when your goalie gets it, if he throws it out, you're still, I think you have to control the puck in your own zone for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds before the thing will end. It only lasts 30 seconds, by the way, once it's activated, the full pressure, or when you clear the puck. If you ice it, I think full pressure stays still. So to clear the puck out, like, that's how it ends, right? So I think you'll see a lot of people hold on to the puck. It changes everything, man. Like, it's going to be a crazy adjustment. I'm sure there'll be an adjustment, and I'm sure there'll be a crazy, like, a meta that we didn't anticipate, and hopefully there isn't a lot of bad goals and things like that. But it's a major breath of fresh air. Like, the beta, I'm so curious on. I've never been more hyped to get people's opinions, because you can't take opinions from one person about gameplay, because just like I mentioned, some people like sim-based, some people like arcade. I'll be honest with you, I hate sim-based, because I hate when I do things that should go in a video game and they don't. And then, a lot of people want hockey, which is luck. Like, there's a lot of luck, and that's frustrating, because it's like, dude, why is my goalie not stopping that? Right? But I don't think that's a better way to play. I just think that that's what I have more fun with, and that's why I don't give my feedback on gameplay anymore. By the way, for anyone that wants to know, I don't give my feedback on gameplay because it's pointless. I'm not more important than the 50 other thousand people that like the other way. So it's like, you'll never get it right. But so we'll see. I'm very excited for everyone to see it, and get their hands.
Sounds like
on
the
it.
three most things that are going to be tinkered with, and I hope they tune them, is the goalies, the reverse hits, and then I think what I read Ecky's tweet, he had a pretty good breakdown, I think he put out. And he was saying that in Vancouver is a little easy to get that full pressure activated.
Yeah, so
Or
because
he
when
felt
I
like it
first
was,
saw it, I
yeah,
was like, God, everyone's just gonna ozone reg.
right.
And for anyone who doesn't know what ozone reg is, it's basically getting the puck into the zone. You're just running away. You're just passing it around a million times. You're playing keep away. But if you just hold on to the puck with one player, it takes 30 seconds to fill up. Passes help it get more. Losing the puck and then them picking it up in their own zone, and then you hitting them or causing a turnover gets a big chunk, which is nice. So if you hem someone in, you'll get it quick. Shots also increase it, so you can rip point shots went in. I had a point shot going clean, and I was like, okay, yo, hot take. I would actually love D to D one timers to work again instead of the wrap.
Yeah.
Comp players always hate D to D one timers going because they
Or
think
how
you have
about the goal that you can pass the puck into the net?
yeah,
That should never be in a video game.
the wraps gone, by the way. It was really interesting. One of the developers, I think, like the same guy, I think his name is Matt. He was like, we get into the room and we're with Eki, and he literally got Eki to go over to his station. And he said, "Hey, I want you to try and score the wrap." And he sat there and he watched him, and Eki did it for like 15 minutes. Couldn't get it. So, the wrap's gone. The other thing before I forget, we're all over the place, but like, there's so much that happened.
Right.
In the there's like a press meeting where like all journalists from covering the game, we got to like have a little talk with the developers and stuff. And I asked, it shows it, and then the Ray Almeida, who is the one hosting it, he has to ask them the questions, like Chris and Mike. And I you can post this chat in the, or you post the questions in the chat, and then people can like it, and it'll go to the top, so that he'll try and ask that. And I was like, what are the plans for live service updates to gameplay throughout the year? NHL 23 did not receive any updated patches to gameplay. Is that going to be expected for 24? And Chris said, we are like, he didn't say it'll be like, first of all, it'll never be like Ben Ross. Ben over, I think he over patched. And they are clearly working towards the next game always, as opposed to trying to go and fix and take people off to fix this one. But basically along the lines, I have the recorded, but I don't have the exact quote. It was like something along the line of, if we see something that is expressed adamantly by the community, we are going to take a long, hard look and make adjustments where needed. So and then I asked, I was like, so is like patches are a potential this year, as opposed to not going. They stated going into 23. This isn't, by the way, I don't know. We shouldn't have been surprised there was no gameplay patches. Like they said going in, which is dangerous. But it was like, no, if there's something that needs to be patched, then we will take a look and get it and patch it. So they're hitting all the right notes, man. They're hitting all the right notes. I don't know.
Yeah, no more Pistol Pete.
No, yes, game change. The dev team has made a huge overhaul. Like it is completely different than what it was like a year and a half ago. Um,
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, like I really wasn't. I didn't.
you know what
I
I'm
mean, like,
excited for? Sorry, before I interrupt you, L2 is also gone, so
yes,
you
yes.
can't. I tried it. In the offensive zone, when you hold down L2, your player will not put his back to the goalie.
And all you ballerinas out
I loved
there,
it, bro. I had some people in my chat, and
like,
oh man,
and you know what? You know they're gonna say like, but did you see the Cale Makar goal in Chicago when he sidestepped the guy and then he went like backhand shelf? It's like, yeah, I get it, dude, but that's Cale Makar, and he's probably the greatest skating defenseman ever.
yeah,
Like,
it's probably
ever.
ever, yeah.
And so you're taking one guy. So, and I'll use like the Blues, like Robert Bortuzzo, our sixth or seventh defenseman. Like, I'm sorry, but Robert Bortuzzo can't do that. And
Yep.
everybody in the NHL video game could do that last year and the year before and the year before. And like it looks so dumb. Like,
Like I'm
it's just
if
terrible.
like anything that is not about a sports or actually in a sports game, I'm cool with getting out of there. Like it,
Yeah.
what I'm excited for, I haven't played sixes since LG, since I owned an LG, so I was like NHL 20. I'm actually kind of excited for sixes because like it's like the way that it looks like and the things that they've added, it looks like they're just promoting cycling and hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that what the meta is gonna be? Where like you're actually playing hockey? It's so weird. It's like everything they added looks arcadey, but gives you a more sim based result. If
Right.
that makes any sense. And like,
That's good.
yeah, like it could be awful. It legit could be awful because when you get 100,000 people all doing something, they'll figure it out. Man,
Yeah. I mean, you saw what I told you. The only thing that I'll be happy. I don't care if the game plays like whatever, because it is what it is, right? Like you can't control it. Like you can bitch all you want. You can go on Twitter and cry about it, whatever. I mean, I've put up tweets before bitching about stuff, whatever. But I just said, like I told you, I said I hope crossplay works right. I want one leaderboard for Hut Champs. This is my once, and I want that stupid pass goal out of the game, and I'll be happy. Like I don't like. I'm pretty simple. I just want to streamline some stuff. And I honestly, God, I feel like a lot of this year is just streamlining things.
yeah, I got the sense that the dev team, what they worked on last year was, God, man, there is like NHL 15 or that switch to that generation of console just set EA NHL back so far with their foundation of code and what it was built on. And when I talked to Mike and Chris, he's like, "Man, we were going through it like as developers and coders and looking at it, and they were just like, this is like to fix a thing that you think would be simple, they have to go in. It'd be like, yo, my light switch doesn't work in my basement, right? And if everything worked correctly, you just go and change the light bulb. But like with EA NHL and what's going on, it's like, oh, my light bulb doesn't work. Well, a new light bulb doesn't work. The fixture's broken. Then you tear apart you tear apart the fixture. The fixture, it's not the issue. Then you're tearing apart the drywall to find if there's like a cracked wire. And then it's like all the way back outside to like your utility unit and be like that's what it reminds me of. Like they're just, and I feel like they've implemented things now that are so different than what we've had, that they did that with the purpose of like, okay, if we want to make adjustments now, it's far easier. So, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But that's just the sense I got. And this year it feels different, man. I don't know if it's because we're craving something, because 23 was just so bad. But like we're like, I don't know. It's first of all, I think the release date, it's starting before the NHL season. Thank God, because that was lame last year. I think the Sharks
Fantasy, baby. Come on, get the fantasy event going quicker.
Oh God, I hope so. Yeah, we didn't get to hear a lot about Hut. Hut Moments was announced, and Objectives 2.0, which is like concerning, because it's like, man, like it, like, you know, I'll be honest with you. If gameplay is enjoyable, it carries the mode more than any other thing that they could do. But
I meant to say one marketplace too, didn't I? I didn't say that, did I? One marketplace.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
One marketplace per, like,
generation.
Whatever. Yeah, generation.
At least like that at the bare minimum, bro. Like
bare
that.
minimum.
Yeah.
It makes it so easy in MLB.
Mhm.
Besides buy and sell orders, it's just so nice. But it's like bam, 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 bam. I mean, there's so many cards, and the best way to ever tell is like you just go on like Chipper Jones or something, right? Like that was the one that everyone was trying for. Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah,
that
dude.
just to get, if you just look how many parallel one Chipper Jones there are,
Yep.
there's over like 500,000,
Mhm.
and that means, I mean, people could still take Babe Ruth, and I can't remember the other one, but you know what I mean? Like it's like that's nuts. That was like one card. It's just, I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
I
How
agree,
many people
man.
play the game, but it's just that's what a marketplace can do. I mean, it's such a, that's what I want the most of, is those 3 or 4 things. And I know it sounds like it's like a lot, I guess, maybe, but I think it would help so much. Even if the gameplay is like the biggest struggle, like I think even just, I mean, how many times did you do stuff last year? You're like, this marketplace is dead.
Well, like think about it like
Pain.
this. Think about it like this. If you want to stop, like let's take the playing the game for a job out of the equation, or playing it for a tournament. If you sit down and and you normally are playing because you got to grind your 50 champs games, or your squad battles, or your champs, and you got to do all that, right? But imagine you just sit down and you have no hope to actually accomplish all that, because you work like 60 hours a week, and you just play like a couple hours a week. You have no hope with that, right? So you sit down because you want to play some shell, and you play Hockey Ultimate Team, and you get into a game and it's NHL 23. There's no way to enjoy that gaming experience, you know?
All right.
So now you're not even enjoying the mode, because like it's too much to accomplish anything. And now you're not even enjoying, like, at least if it's fun gameplay, you can, like, that will carry the mode for an extra 7 to 8 weeks before the game is deemed dead. Because this year brought February. I was struggling. Like,
Yeah.
But we'll see if they can keep it up. The dev talk thing they did, my fear is that they've done this where they try something, they get ambitious, and then doesn't continue. I hope it remains intact, and we'll see, because there's just a lot of new stuff coming down for NHL 24, and I'm excited. I am excited. I'll be that. I'm not. I guess I'm not excited. I'm more optimistic, cautiously optimistic, because
I just need something new to play. Like I don't know, man. Like I said, I like MLB and everything, but it's just, I don't know. It's like there's Warzone's taking a step back. There's just, I don't know.
I'm
There's
about
not
to
a lot.
dip into Madden. For anyone that complains about NHL, Madden is the most pay-to-win Ultimate Team mode there
Yeah,
is in any
like
sports game.
I would like to like play it, but like when I hear all the people that like do
Mud
play,
is
they're like,
terrible.
dude,
Yeah, Mud
you
is
got to spend
awful.
money. You got to spend money, and it's like, at least with NHL, I mean, I know I'm like relatively good too, but I don't have to spend like
Yeah,
money to get like a decent
I
team.
want to try franchise mode. Like I love franchise mode in Madden. I always have, even though it's been bad over the last couple of years. I've really enjoyed it, and the new things they've added in makes it feel like it's like Madden 04. So I'm just excited to try that out. But yeah, man. So good first episode back at NHL 24. I'm sure this thing's
Yeah,
gonna move.
we're trying to we're gonna try to get more episodes out here for everybody. It's we're just trying to figure out timing and stuff like that and
It is
whatnot.
I
And
don't know how the hell you guys did it with a kid.
yeah, we
Props to you guys. As now with dad, I'm like, damn.
yeah, now he's yeah, it's just different. Yeah, I mean, like I told Sleeves too, like because he stays home obviously, and he can be like on camera if he has to be. Like I've even said before, like we might even rip some podcasts where we just want to give you guys like a podcast, and I might not even have like my camera on, but like we're still talking. So I can talk.
I
I just
agree.
can't always have like a camera.
The
But we're yeah,
leave some questions in the YouTube comments. It is gonna be on Spotify. I'm trying to work on Apple, but it is on Spotify. There might be like the old link that had like all the other episodes. We had to upload it to a new RSS feed, so be sure to watch out for that. There's already one episode. This will be the second one. So make sure you're following this new one. So,
yeah,
but yeah, leave some questions. We'll be happy to answer on the next episode. And yeah, we'll be back in about a week probably. All right, guys,
yeah.
have a good one.